up, YouTube? Tiffy Stacy here, and I'm back with another video. And this video is gonna be about women and their self-worth, and because I did a video on how men need to show empathy in relationships, and I went in on the men, and this time I'm going in on the women, but not in a bad way. I'm doing it in a good way, because I feel like, a lot of us, have been portrayed badly, especially in the media, and I think we feed into it. I think we feed into the fact that, so much of our self-worth is based on the relationships that we're in, either bad or good. That's just like that bull crap, 42% of black women are unmarried. That bull crap survey, like, I didn't understand what was the purpose of having this survey and continuing to basically tell us that we're not worthy of being loved and being respected and being supported by, black men. So I just feel that I'm at a point now where, I've taken a stance. I feel that I'm worthy of being loved, and I suggest that you take a stance as well, that you're worthy of being loved and respected by somebody. Because here's the thing, I had a very close friend of mine tell me that that men basically do the things that they do in relationships because they know they can get away with it. And when you go into relationships knowing that that's what men think, it forces you to step your game up and realize that, hey, I need to set a higher bar. I need to set higher standards, because, hopefully this person will realize that I am worth, their effort and their time. So, and actually I have a story for this. I was, when I was in college, I was really interested in this guy we were trying to get to know each other, and I thought we were getting ready to go out on a date, but I don't know what was going on. We were sitting in his car and we were trying to figure out what we were going to do. There was no real plan. But he asked me, he's like, so what do you want to do? And I go, well, I'm kind of hungry. And he basically said to me, he goes, well, take your pick. McDonald's, Wendy's, Taco Bell, which one do you want to go to? And I kind of thought about it. I'm like, okay, so is that what I'm worth? Like, McDonald's, Wendy's, like, come on. Like, where's the effort in that? But I kind of flipped it on him, and I said, I really want to get to know you, and I really want to see where you're coming from. And I was wondering if maybe we can possibly go to a restaurant. I was hoping that he would kind of, basically agree with that. And he did. He agreed with it reluctantly. But that situation right there kind of told me what he wanted from me. And no, it's not about the money, but it's just about the fact that he even suggests that. Like, everybody knows that taking your lady to McDonald's is not what you do on the first date. Like, come on, that's common sense. So but then I ended up finding out later on that he really wasn't really that serious about me, and luckily I found out in time, and I had to go ahead and distance myself from that relationship. But I really do believe that as women, you have to go in knowing your self-worth. Because I think as when we set the tone for the relationships that we're in, men are just along for the ride, and they'll ride it to the end. They don't care, they could be getting sex for free with little or no effort or time. So, but you know what? Here's the thing. I really do believe that, dating starts in our mind first. We have to know that we're worth, as I said, the time and effort. We have to go into it knowing that, and we have to set our limitations. But as I said, I have notes here, and I just feel like as I said before, we don't need to be in a relationship to validate who we are. I feel like I know what it feels like to be in a relationship with someone who I knew wasn't treating me as well as they could. It was there, but I always knew. And then that's when you have to decide, is that what you want to put up with? Are you worth basically losing yourself in the process just to please somebody else. Yeah, and actually, true story, there was somebody I know that's really close to me, who basically has risked her life to be with this guy. She's went through all this trouble. She's literally gotten in trouble over it. But she's done all these things, and this guy can't even give her $20 to go to class. He can't even give her $20 for gas money so she can go to class. So I really think that when you go through situations like that, you have to reevaluate, who you are and what you're willing to put up with. Because, honestly, I'll be honest with you, being single is really not as bad as everybody says it is, especially when you know your worth. When you know your worth, you're willing to wait and you're willing to not settle for less. And I think that's where I'm kind of at. Yes, I'm single, and sometimes I've been in situations with guys where they wonder why I'm single. It's because I know who I am, and I'm not going to tolerate a lot of things from people. I want the absolute best from the guys that I'm with, and if I know that they could do better, hey, why not? So, and I really do believe that I think it's better to be single than to be given breadcrumbs in a relationship. It really is. But just know your power and know your worth, because knowing your worth, there's a lot of power in that. So, actually, let me get these notes right here. And as I said, don't set your limitations and don't readjust them. If somebody doesn't want to step up to the plate, that's on them. Then that will tell you that their intentions are not true and they're not honest. And I've been in those situations. There was one guy that I was dating, another guy that I was dating in college. I wasn't really dating him, but I was kind of into him. I mean, I wasn't into him like I was with the first guy, but he was okay. He was a nice guy for a minute there. But I remember he used to call me at 1:00 in the morning every day for like the couple of weeks, and I couldn't understand why he would call me only around like booty call hour, but I quickly learned what his intentions were. But finally I had to tell him, I said, you know what, could you like call me during the afternoon, because usually around that booty call hour I'm usually doing homework and I'm usually studying. I don't really have time for this. And I think he might have called me like in the middle afternoon maybe 2 or 3 times, but that was it. And then he started calling me again around that booty call hour, and I just finally had to tell him, like, look, don't call me anymore, because I felt like he couldn't respect my boundaries, and I felt like he knew where I tried to put it out there, but he didn't want to obviously oblige to what my standards were set to. So yeah, it's just stuff like that. But as I said, as women, we need to realize our worth, and we need to realize that we deserve to be in loving relationships. And I know with me, I know I'm worth the effort. Anybody who ends up with me is lucky to have me, and I just know. And I'm not saying that in a like an arrogant way. I'm saying that because I know that when I'm in relationships, I go hard and I try my absolute best. And if you're wondering, like, how do you like find your self-worth, like how do you discover it, I think it comes through things that you love to do. With me, I think it came through the things like taking care of myself, working out, and of course my natural hair and taking care of my natural hair. And it's also come through just reading. Like, I love reading. I love just knowing and expanding my mind and my knowledge, and finding about new things. And it's also come from just being able to express myself and being fearless. So as I said, what, you all are worth more than a Big Mac at McDonald's. You're worth more than somebody's jump off. You're worth more than that side chick. I mean, everybody, I feel like, deserves to be with someone, but I really do believe that you deserve to be with someone who loves you, but also because you love yourself. So, keep it Tiffy. I hope this makes sense to you. But, I'll be back next week, and keep it Tiffy.